On today's Bookends episode, we will tell you about another field trip we went on. We will also give an honorable mention review. Last, we'll highlight another book club.
Hello, and welcome to the third bookend.
We are your hosts,
Ann Dark
and Tracy Stormy.
And we're glad to have you join us again.
It's going to be a full episode, even though it's going to be short.
Right. The first thing we want to report on is an event we attended, which was amazing. We attended the Baltimore Rock Opera Society's presentation of Incredibly Dead. It was wonderful. It is being held at the Mount Zion Lutheran Church at 400 East Lexington Street in Baltimore, and it will be running from May 11th, which is past, to June 3rd.
Highly recommended.
It is
my
a
goodness.
wonderful production. We were just thrilled with it.
The talent on that stage was
breathtaking.
Blew my mind away. It really did.
The musical talent, the creative writers,
the sets.
It was just amazing. It was a great evening.
They have been around since...
They've been around for years, and they put up, I believe, about 3 shows a year. So if you miss this one, go to BaltimoreRockOpera.com, all one word, and check out their schedule. You won't be sorry you did.
I consider myself to be very lucky to live close to Baltimore. The talent that comes out of this town, we have a very bohemian town, and it is just, we're very lucky.
Yes, we are. And the group that puts this on is just, their talent overflows. It is just a great production. The church itself is a sight to see without the opera going on. It's just amazing.
Yes.
So, and I'm an old fogey, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. So you don't have to be a teenager to enjoy a rock opera, believe me.
I don't know of too many teenagers that would enjoy a rock opera.
No, probably not.
The next thing we want to do is, it's very hard for us to decide what book to review on this show. With us concentrating on the author's last names A to Z, there's so many books that get recommended to us that we just want to stay focused on the one book per episode. But there's one we really feel we need to give an honorable mention to, because when we were considering this book, and we always reach out to the authors, we found out this author happened to have passed away. But we read the book anyway, and both really enjoyed it.
The book we read was called To Catch a Rabbit, and it was written by Helen Cadbury. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2017, but her series, it's the
Sean
Denton series, and it ended up with 3 books. There was one that was published very close to or right after her death. But those have been bought by the BBC to be developed into a television mystery series. I don't know what has become of that since her death. To Catch a Rabbit was just amazing.
I couldn't put it down.
Sean Denton is a police community support officer, sort of a friendly patrolman who gives community service. And he is also a dyslexic. and he wants to become a real policeman, but he knows he can't take the test and pass it. So he's happy to serve as a police community service officer. The book opens when two young boys tell him there's a body laying in a caravan, which is a trailer in America, and he goes to investigate.
This book takes place over in England.
Yes. And he finds the body of an Asian young girl who has apparently died of an overdose. He gives her a name because nobody can identify her. He calls her Sue May, and he feels not a kinship, but feels like he's responsible for solving this girl's murder. It is very well written, and I just wish Miss Cadbury
had been able to continue with this
series. There are 3 books in the series, and like I say, they have been purchased for distribution as a TV series. So I'm hoping we see those in the future.
This book had actually 2 complete different stories going on that kind of converged in the end. But they did a great job leading you towards that ending.
Yes, one was the story of Sean Denton and how he was trying to solve this murder, and the other was sort of a back love story between one of the women that work with migrants in the town and her dissolution of her marriage and her relationship with a policeman who's investigating.
And she was also helping to locate her brother that happened to be missing, and he had something to do with the first story.
It was all very well where these 2 very seemingly far apart stories came together in the end and became one story. It was very well done.
But we definitely recommend you read all 3 episodes.
Yes.
We definitely recommend you read all 3 books.
Yes, and it's a shame there aren't any more.
And we both look forward to, if the BBC does finish developing this into a series, I'd love to see that.
And our next, we will go on to... Now we have another book club to highlight. We are so excited. We've had a lot of response. What we'd like to do now is to highlight another one of our book clubs. We're very excited to announce the
Centuries and Sleuths Book Club.
And it's in Forest Park, Illinois. Our questions we asked are, when did your book club start? It started in 1991, so this one's got some staying power. Question 2 is, how often do you meet?
Once a month, usually on the 3rd Saturday at 2 p.m. The third question is, how many members do you have?
It varies with the time of year, but I would say on average 10. How do you select the books that you read?
The members fill out ballads with the title and author they recommend. We place them in an unused coffee can, then we select from it as we run low. I, as the owner, would like to do 12 titles so the year is covered. Also, if your book is chosen, you lead the discussion. We've had some loser titles in the past. No one admits ownership to a loser. Oh, do I know how that is. So the rule is that if you recommend the book and it's selected, it's your book to lead the group. The 5th question is, where are your meetings held?
The meetings are always held at the store, Centuries and Sleuths, 7419 Madison Street in Forest Park, Illinois. Other details they include are, she put a pot of coffee on, and some members bring cookies and brownies and cakes.
Yum.
Sounds good. There is no membership fee, but it is required that you buy the book at Centuries and Sleuths bookstore.
What a great idea.
No used Amazon or library books.
If you're in Forest Park or in the adjoining area, give them a holler. They'd probably love a new member. We'll put all this in the show notes, so if you want to get in touch with them, they do have an email. The owner's name is Augie Oleski.
Also sent us a list of every book they've reviewed. So
since 1991, that is very, very impressive.
Yes, they're much more organized.
We will try to attach that also to our show notes, but we aren't very computer savvy, so maybe I can get my son to show me how to do that.
If you have a book club you would like us to highlight, it's free publicity, so be sure and let us know.
If you'd like to contact them, their email is cns741@sbcglobal.net. But once again, we will update our show notes with this information.
Yes, we'll put all that information on there. Okay, so our final episode ingredient this time will be to go over what we're reading personally. I am reading a book called Dark Matter. It's very interesting. I've just started it. I don't know how good it's going to be, but history is one of my favorite subjects. So.
I just finished The Monkey's Raincoat by Robert Craze. It was written in 1988. It's an Elvis Cole. It was the first book in the Elvis Cole series. It was a little not my cup of tea, we'll say. Not that I didn't like the book. I don't think I'll be reading further. Not my style.
Well, we didn't consider him for our list of reading because he has so many books out there.
He's what I would call a household name.
Yes, he's a household name. So he wasn't really in our realm of authors that we considered to read. So we prefer to, as we said before, focus on authors who need a little extra recognition.
But if you like books where detectives jump in bed with everybody, this will be your cup of tea.
So I guess that wraps up our Bookends number 3.
And once again, remember to read Louisiana Long Shot by Jana DeLeon.
And it's a fun read. You'll enjoy it.
But this is the first book in the Misfortune series. So we're looking forward to reading it also.
So I guess that will wrap up our Bookend series. And we look forward to having you join us for our review of Louisiana Long Shot.
And also remember, we can be found at It Was a Dark and Stormy Book Club.com,
or our email is darkandstorybookclub@gmail.com.
Also, we have a Patreon, we have a Twitter, we have a Facebook. We are everywhere.
Yes, every place you look, you will see our little typewriter with the blood spot on it.
The only place we haven't ventured into is Instagram or Snapchat or any of those because we're old and we don't know how those things work.
Yes. So we hope you'll join us next time. And this is getting a little easier for us. I hope it's getting a little less painful to listen to. So remember,
life would be boring without a little mystery.
Bye.